Welcome to the MindScaped podcast. Politics, environment, history, mental health, business, religion, people, and philosophy. Escape to the real world.
Welcome everyone, Assalamu alaikum to our first podcast. Today we have Muad all the way from England, Siedd all the way from Canada,
Siedd
all the way from Canada, Nazeer all the way from Durban, and Rayhaan all the way from Pretoria.
Assalamu alaikum. All right. So Shaheen, talk to us. Where do we start?
Well, it's Rayhaan's, it's Muad and Siedd's first tour, Siedd first tour to South Africa.
Yes, it is.
How was it so far, guys?
Absolutely amazing. Honestly, South Africa was always a dream of mine anyway. But alhamdulillah, it exceeded expectations until you turned up in Durban.
Well, I remember the phone call I made to him, and the first thing he told me was, South Africa has been a dream of mine.
Yes.
My daughters, and we love South Africa, we want to definitely come.
Guaranteed. Coming back.
So have you met your expectations?
Exceeded expectations. Cape Town.
Cape Town?
Cape Town
Durban in
exceeded. Johannesburg was good. Durban. I like Durban.
Just because it's our hometown.
That's why.
Yeah.
Be careful. How about you, bro?
Yeah, no, it's my first time here in South Africa as well. South Africa is something we've always heard of. Especially in the Nasheed world. Growing up listening to Zayn Bika and stuff like that. But South Africa is just one of the most. I've always heard it's like South Africa is supposed to be like the heaven on earth.
Really?
The way it's so beautiful. I've heard of the Table Mountain before I came here, and so it was like when we came here we've been able to meet people in Johannesburg, Cape Town, and finally Durban here as well. And it's very different. Like each city has been very different, which has been very interesting. Like Johannesburg is like the city hub where people are just like work. That's like
Busy.
That's like London or Toronto.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then Cape Town is absolutely beautiful and stunning. And then Durban over here, they've got all these beaches. It's very beautiful over here. We've only gotten to see the rain so far because the past 2 days it's just been raining. But like you guys have been saying, it's very beautiful and a lot of activities to do down
He's
here
just
as
being
well.
humble about Durban.
Well, Cape Town is actually known as the mother city.
The mother city.
Yeah, but
It's also the capital.
because everything
as well,
takes
right?
9 months.
Johannesburg.
Oh, you guys.
That's a good one.
I didn't hear that one.
That's a good one.
Say the
Come
same
on.
again.
Cape Town is known as the mother city because everything basically takes 9 months. It's a very slow city.
I see.
Yeah, it's very
It's
slow.
got a vibe.
Yeah, it's got a
But
different.
I like it.
General perception before you came was what? Lions in the road and stuff.
Yeah. I you know what it is? That's some of it. Like I knew about Cape Town. That's why it was always a dream country. But you still have that in the back of your head. It is the rhinos and the stampedes. And sometimes, and not only that,
Guys in the Zulu.
stereotypes. When you even think of like, I hope it's not bad or whatever, but the slums.
Yeah.
That's what you think of.
Really?
Yeah. I thought of the slums.
He
and
thought we'd be
broken-
getting picked up by elephants.
Yeah. And that's what I asked him. I was like, "Where are the elephants? I want to see the elephants." I thought they'd just be walking with us with the humans.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
but there's nothing like that. The infrastructure and that.
No, it's beautiful. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's
very
crazy. It's crazy.
And Rayhaan, this has been your first show.
Yes,
How was it?
amazing. Really good performing with Siedd and Muad. I feel like we've built a close unit together, and I feel like I've known all of you guys here for more than just this week. It's like the brotherhood just, it was like we
It
became
clicked.
brothers. We just clicked automatically, alhamdulillah, and that doesn't happen with a lot of people. And
Alhamdulillah.
I'm very humbled.
And which was your favorite city? Your favorite show?
My favorite show is always Cape Town.
It's the one.
Cape Town.
Yeah.
More than Johannesburg. That's your hometown.
Johannesburg is my hometown, but like we're saying, the vibe in Cape Town is just totally different, Cape Town's just got the vibe about itself.
Get to make like
It is vibing. But I mean, last night in Durban was amazing as well, and Johannesburg too.
You know what's
I
crazy?
actually felt that last time was slightly better than Johannesburg.
See, that's what I was gonna say. That's what's crazy.
I
Because
think
you
there
lot,
was, I think there was more interaction.
it was.
Yeah.
But you lot said you lot told us Durban wasn't. They're gonna be like this.
Yeah.
No clapping, no nothing.
Hold on, they from Durban, don't throw them under the
They're
bus.
from Durban. They're from Durban.
We always thought
I'm from South
Durbans
Africa.
are generally much.
Is that what you thought?
Yeah.
So they surprised you guys.
I was actually
So
very-
Durban were
very-
really good
I
last
was
night.
very-
They were the best crowd.
Yeah.
They were the best crowd out of all.
I think-
That's what I think.
I think
What do you think?
Johannesburg night crowd.
I think.
You're gonna say Cape Town, right?
No, I mean Cape Town was very good, but I think the second show in Johannesburg was
Yes.
a lot of energy.
Yeah.
But I feel like Durban though. I feel like they wanted to give it that more energy, but because of the venue's very big, and very
too
high
echo.
ceilings,
Echo.
and the stage is kind of a bit further away from the crowd, there's a bit of distance. And that's why I felt like I had to just come down and get a bit closer to the audience.
But in terms of
You feel so far
participation-
away. But they had a lot of. I was surprised because, like you said, everybody was saying Durban's gonna just Durban.
Yeah.
Essentially, they're just gonna be sitting
We were
there.
scared.
Not doing
We were
anything.
scared.
We were all scared before the
Yeah,
We
show.
were scared beforehand. But I'm
I
talking
guess-
about in crowd
Yeah.
participation.
Yeah, no, it was amazing.
Durban?
People were singing along.
There were more kids, that's why. There were much
That's
more
that's
In
true.
Durban?
That's
much
true.
more kids in Durban.
Much
How many
more kids?
I believe so.
Yeah, in Durban.
I think Johannesburg had
Much more.
more
You
kids.
could
No,
get-
in the
yeah,
back of
it's
the
kind
stage.
of-
Cape Town, I noticed a lot of the
Back
kids
and
were at the back.
Yeah.
They were like midway, so
Yes.
you couldn't really kind of hear them a bit because they were a bit further up.
Yeah.
Over here, we had kids right till the front, essentially.
But I think in all the whole tour itself was amazing. Everyone
Yeah,
that came out,
Start to end.
everybody was
Start to
great.
end was
It was
amazing.
phenomenal.
Well, look, the idea behind this was to reignite the nasheed industry in South
Yeah.
Africa specifically. It was post-COVID, and even before COVID, there was no shows like this. I asked everyone in the crowd, people I met, when last have you heard of a show like this? With international artists, local artists, like three
First
months
time?
tour. After
First time,
ages,
yeah.
so I would say
Years, but-
7 years. Apart from others, one that happened in December and so on, this was like
No, but in
This is-
terms
this
of in
is
terms of
unique.
shows, is it normally homegrown talent that you have?
not even
Not
not
even
even
Not
homegrown talent. It's like scholars and sheikhs coming down
Wow.
mostly than nasheed concerts.
And then
It's
see
very
the same
interesting
thing,
because
young
traditional
people,
stuff.
young people.
I don't think
not
anything's.
have the
I
space.
don't think any. Sorry, I don't think anything's happened like this since Maher Zain's concert in Cape Town, and
Yeah.
prior to
And
that,
when was that? And when was
and
that?
prior to that was maybe
15.
2015, 2017.
Yeah.
And,
Why?
Oh, long time ago.
and before that, Sami Yusuf
Way
was
before
here
that, yeah.
in 2008. So it was those two concerts in maybe the last 15 years.
Wow.
And this is strange, right? Yet you say you're following on your social
Yes.
media. South Africa is like what?
Yes,
three?
third for me.
For you?
For me, on Apple Music,
Yeah.
top 5 is Johannesburg.
Wow.
Yeah, which is
Yeah.
very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on like yeah, so but this is all very interesting to me because the Muslim community over here has been here for a long time. Like we're looking at like
300 years.
4 or 5 generations down.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Whereas like in the UK, like over the past maybe 3-4 years, there's been an influx of all of these like nasheed shows and all, and even in the States. But like for South Africa, to be honest, I was expecting there to be a lot more, especially in the arts, because like the Muslims have been here for time.
You know the talent in
But
South Africa
I guess
is
not.
a lot.
Yeah.
But it's just that they're not pushed out.
Yeah.
They're not pushed out.
There's
It's,
no space. There's no space for young artists
Well,
to be developed and so on.
yeah.
Nazeer's been always talking about creating this space
Yeah.
for talent and for arts and culture, which our country doesn't really have. The Muslim society doesn't really push it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's very the South African market is very traditional.
Is there a reason for that? Is there a reason?
Look, to be honest, it's fear of it's conservativeness that's come in, and the fear of like what are they going to say about me, and
Yeah,
people are going to point fingers.
South
and I'm gonna
Africans,
become-
yeah,
my family
exactly.
will get upset with me because it's this kind of
There's a
feel.
lot.
And also because there's no space. If there was a comfortable space where the artists with music, artists without music, be able to just be in the same space and be able to be taught by experienced people,
Yes.
I think that would really push the market to the next phase. But there isn't that in the UK either.
In the UK,
Where is the space for them to grow?
over the past few years, there has been because
It's a lot easier.
the thing is,
But I
especially in
think
the
it's easier,
UK, no, especially in the UK, like we have so many, and UK and the West, like in North America as well. We're dealing with so many, like especially our scholars are dealing with so many other issues in the Muslim world, where the scholars are now saying that we need some sort of area that we can get our kids to go rather than going to these other concerts where it's nothing aligns with our values as Muslims. We need a space for young people, for their own children, to come down and have a good time, have some type of halal entertainment.
Yeah.
And so in the UK, in the States, like wherever I've been traveling so far, a lot of parents are coming to us. At the end of the show, they're like, "My kids, this is the first time I've come here, and this won't be the last. But
Wow.
what you guys are doing for us has changed our lives and the lives of our children. And that's what keeps all of us going
Exactly.
over here, right?
But
Hearing
those are the
these
messages.
here's the thing.
Here we go.
Your version of halal entertainment and somebody else's version of halal.
But that's our purpose.
But
ultimately.
yeah, but again,
this is haram, bro.
to be honest, I think that's the beauty of our religion is that we have such a diverse group of people, right?
Uh-huh.
And the thing is, we need every type of person in this because, especially in the arts industry and the music industry, we can sometimes get very narrow-minded and end up in an extreme as well in creativity. And where we sometimes step on our principles as well.
Yeah.
So the thing is, a lot of these different opinions are good because at the end of the day, our religion teaches balance.
Yeah.
But here's the spanner in the works.
Let me finish this. So the thing is, if we don't have people like a bit of a tug of war, that's how you find balance, right? You sometimes you get pushed this way, you get pushed this way, you get pushed this way.
You can flip that though.
You see,
But the thing is, as a creative,
he's talking like Hoblos, guys.
no, I'm telling you. No, as a creative, each one of us have our own principles in this room.
Yes.
You have to know these are my principles. This is what I abide by.
Okay.
Now, I'm listening to all of this stuff. The people who are telling me, okay, maybe Siedd, what you're doing is not right. But for me, I've consulted with people of knowledge.
Okay.
And they gave me the go ahead for this. And these I know in my head, in my heart, that what I'm doing, inshallah,
Is
that
the
Allah
right-
accepts it. That with my intentions, what I'm doing, hopefully, inshallah, would benefit somebody.
Yeah.
And as long as we know that, and as long as our intentions are there, it does not matter what person is telling me because I have that peace of mind.
Research.
I've done my research. I know, and then so no matter all the noise that we're getting at the end of the day, the comments and all of that, we're doing it with our vision in mind.
Okay, I get
And so the thing is that is a good push and pull because sometimes maybe sometimes we get a bit too excited at times, a bit too passionate, and we want to delve like 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
But the thing is sometimes that push or that pull keeps us in line.
So I get where
What's
he's
your
coming from.
flip
No, the flip side is there's too many opinions. That's the flip side of.
But that's
Yeah,
always
but
going to happen.
I was just about to say, South Africa, the reason why we're not as open as the West
Yeah.
is because we're not as diverse as the West.
Yes.
That's what I was going to say.
I think we
Because
are
this-
that diverse.
As,
But we don't
as-
have a lot of Arabs.
You think so?
inside.
No, we don't. We
I
have
don't think so.
basically,
But Indian and Malay.
and then you break you.
Why
break
do you-
the
hold on,
legal
why do
subject.
you- why do you say-
We've
why do you
got
say that
Indian,
though?
We've got Indian, we've got Malay, we've got the African Muslims who are not getting out there. And
Marginalized, completely marginalized.
totally marginalized. I mean, have you heard of a famous African nasheed artist from South Africa? Never.
Very good.
They're too scared.
And they don't have the space.
They don't have the space. They don't have the backing. You understand what I'm saying? And they're scared what the rest of the South African Muslim community is going to say about it.
But here's the funny part: they're more scared about not what the South African Muslim community is saying. They're more scared about what the South African Muslim, Indian, Asians are going to say about it.
Because we're so
Not
judgmental.
the African.
Also, it's just pinned to one.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
majority.
Culture.
Like
Majority.
the
Yeah.
group you saw this performed in Durban.
Yeah.
You can see there's no space. I was chatting with them. They said this is the first video.
And those are youngsters.
To be even called to come to this event, like, what are you talking about? They're not in their wildest dreams. They're just singing at zikr programs.
Exactly.
Across there.
But I mean, if you listen to their voices, if you listen to the guys from last night,
Yeah.
what's the name of their group?
Voice.
No, the Siraj.
Siraj, no, that's.
I mean, if you listen to that guy's, his voice alone,
Vibrant.
Yeah,
so
the lead.
powerful.
He's already
Vibrant youth group.
And his brother is even
Like
more
Jane
powerful. Idris Raja. Have you heard
Yes,
Idris?
Oh yeah.
There's a guy called Chef Idris Raja.
So here's the funny part. Even though we're in South Africa and it's a predominantly African country,
Yeah.
the Africans are minority Muslims. Minority. Not the majority.
Yeah.
The Indian and the Malay are the majority.
Do you know my?
So they wanna get like what?
No,
acceptance from them.
No, so because right
Is
now,
that how it works?
It's mentality.
Because-
They've been
because-
growing up with acceptance from because who they look up to, the ulama they have and the scholars they have.
Are they the Indians and they?
and initially the
These opportunities
scholars.
when they're from apartheid and those kind of issues. So now
Yeah.
slowly there's a change. Slowly
Yes.
there's ulama coming out who are African and
But
who,
this
are,
is-
who are being given these platforms, but very slowly.
But this is why Penny Peel are making a change though.
Inshallah.
You know what I mean? Because like it's the first of many. You
Yeah.
give this opportunity to
Do you know there isn't a official Zulu nasheed? Now
That would be
only.
amazing though.
Like imagine that their own culture is just like we sing Arabic and English and that's it.
Like
Now finally they've come up with some of these words, Munye, Allah, which Allah means one and those kind of things, which is coming up with these kind of songs.
you guys heard of Qawwali? You know what's Qawwali?
Yeah, of
well,
course. Yeah.
So in Johannesburg, you got a Xhosa Qawwali group. But doing Qawwali in the local language,
Yeah, you've
Xhosa,
got-
but you don't have an authentically Zulu or Xhosa nasheed. They still have adopted.
Because
The-
your
the
culture,
Qawwali.
is not kosher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there is a space, as you say, but it's just not giving that opportunity.
But there's a space. They need to also come out there with, like Siedd was saying now, that the youth. It's our main target is the youth.
Of course it is.
It's the youth, and we want to bring change to the youth.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who it's coming from, and like Siedd was saying, not to worry what everyone thinks.
Yes.
So those guys need to understand that as well.
Yeah.
No, of course. You know, each
I'm-
person, like, it's exactly what Syed's saying. Because, look, he's done his own research. I have my principles. You have your principles. But the fact of the matter is, we have the same message.
Yeah.
Right? And I see it as some people are going to be like, yeah, music is okay, or music is not okay.
Yeah.
But if you know about, like, the messages that we receive, even if we do use music, it's like, oh, you've changed my life, you've changed this, you know what I mean? For the better.
Yeah.
That's the main aim.
That's
For
what
me,
you
that's
want.
the main aim.
If you hear that,
As
just
long
from
as you
one
change
person-
for the better. Look, if my music is getting somebody closer to Allah, come on, isn't that a win?
Let's not deny what's being shoved in the faces from TikTok to everything.
Yeah.
Of these young kids. As
course.
soon as they pick up that phone, that algorithm is working.
Yes.
These
Yeah.
days, they have an alternative that's there. Whether some have their different opinion, there has to be some alternative.
If you listen
that's,
to the-
that's speaking the language. Bro, I'll be honest. Like some of the nasheeds that come out from the nasheed world right now, I can't connect with them. Right?
No.
They're like,
Because they don't hit
beats
you
are like-
spiritually, right?
Yeah, but not only that, but like the beats are really hectic, right?
Yeah.
But I talked to my niece was volunteering last night, so I drove her and dropped her home last night. So I asked her, like, tell me, she was like, as soon as I heard Siedd and Muad are coming down, and I was like going crazy, and I told my dad I have to the father phoned me and it's like I said she's got to volunteer for us, and she volunteered. And she said it was the best experience of my life,
Wow.
and I know the music she does listen to.
Okay.
I know the other stuff that she
But that's the problem.
You see?
she was there spending that night here praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praising the Prophet sallallahu in a good environment. Yeah, there was lights and there was some good sound. But
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'd rather be here than anywhere else.
There you go.
End of story.
And that's the main aim.
I bring you back one step here. If you listen, we growing up, we used to listen to good R&B music. And it's not a lie.
Did we?
But I used to. Did you listen to good music when you were young?
I can sing one once.
Hold on,
Sing
what?
something.
We used to listen to good R&B music
Yeah,
growing
of
up.
course.
Did I?
Yeah.
We did.
Astaghfirullah.
Now we
If
did.
you listen to the music
Of course we
that's
did.
coming
That's
out
how we were
there,
inspired.
if you listen to the change in the industry
Yeah.
now, and what are the topics that are being sung about?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous for the children
Yeah,
to be listening to
Of
that.
course it is.
We thought 20 years ago the music was bad and vulgar. If you listen to the lyrics, what's going on these days, man?
It's absolutely
And sometimes parents these days are not in tune with what their kids are listening to.
100%.
They have no idea.
Generation gap is huge.
Exactly. There's sometimes a language barrier.
Yeah.
There's also like they just don't understand the cultural nuances, and the thing is, it's insane. And for me, I definitely wouldn't want my children listening to that type of music.
I mean, we were listening to like Backstreet Boys, and now they're listening to Little Nas X and something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Chalk and
Wow.
cheese.
Yeah.
But chalk
Nah,
and
he's
cheese.
on another level.
And now the visuals are sometimes even more worse than the lyrics. And that's destroying like it's like a visual and auditory experience. And now both ways, it's destroying our next generation.
If you're on the TV and you're watching a movie, or so you can't even change the channels on your TV.
Yeah, because the next channel is even
It's
worse.
even worse. How do you even watch TV with your kids?
It's
So
crazy.
that's why we do these.
And like
videos.
parents nowadays, when you want to, because they're busy and doing that, and here's your phone, get rid of them. That's the problem there already.
Yeah.
Give them the phone, get rid of them.
Yeah.
They're already, and you programming them when they're young.
And let me be honest with you, right? That algorithm on TikTok, I've been like working on TikTok recently. It's dangerous. It changes as soon as you watch a video for a longer period, that's what the algorithm changes. Next time you come on,
It's the same thing, yeah.
That's the video you like, right? If you're searching and hopefully a Quran comes up or a sheet comes up, hopefully that will affect the child or someone watching and saying, oh, this is wrong. I know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. So being on these platforms, as much as we don't like them, as much as China,
No, you can
say
use it for good.
China is watching everything that's going on. Use it for good.
Yeah.
Use it for good.
Today's warfare is The biggest one is online. It's the media. It's the messaging. It's the programming that's going into our minds, right? And that's why we need a lot of Muslim content, Muslim friendly content online. And to provide this alternative, because the thing is, if we're gonna stay, if we're not gonna delve into it, then 100%. First of all, children are, no matter what, they're gonna be on social media these days.
Ain't stopping that.
If you don't give them a phone these days, their friends will be, hey, have you heard of TikTok? It's like it's virtually impossible.
You try and deny somebody, deny somebody social media, they're gonna find it somewhere else.
Yeah.
They're friends, they're anywhere. You can find it anywhere nowadays.
Shakedown, knocking at
Yeah.
No, it's yeah. We're living in obviously difficult times.
Wow.
Yep.
You were asking us about a Qawwali group in Johannesburg. Can you tell us more about
And it's not, say the word Kosa again.
Kosa. You tried.
They can say it.
Kosa.
Kosa.
It's like umschlanga. Is it umschlanga or umschlanga?
When one of my friends
Oh,
came,
there's
he
a clip
was
of
like,
that too?
No,
I'm going to
umschlanga.
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 There you go.
You sound like
Not Islam.
you sound like Siedd from
Sorry.
from Ice Age.
From I say,
No, you wanna leave me hanging like that?
On camera.
Well, like Umklanga.
So Rayhaan, when did you start singing? At what age you thought I'm gonna make this into a career? This is the path I want to take.
Oh, that's the question I didn't even ask you, bro. That's
I was singing from young.
Yeah.
I would sing in the mosques.
Urdu,
Naats, Nasheeds as well.
So when you
All your Sami Yusuf.
But nothing
Nasheed.
you've written.
Who is the loved one? Allah,
So did you want to sing or your dad said, hey boy, go there, go move.
Hey, boy.
Move.
No, I mean, I was just chilling out the one day and I got in touch with Emre in Turkey and I told him, look, I want to take this to the next level. Got a few melodies.
So that was recent. That's got to be recent then.
No, it was before COVID. This happened just before COVID.
No, but prior that you were singing in masjid.
Yeah, I was always singing in the masjids.
So how did that start?
Oh, we used to sing in madrasa and I was in the choir in school.
so someone
Oh really?
Yeah. I would be like la 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 la, you know.
tell you that you had
The
like
Christmas
that.
songs.
No, I was in a school where everything was compulsory.
Okay.
It was a non-Muslim school.
It was a non-Muslim school.
Wow.
So
Private.
but we wouldn't. They would exclude us from singing all the hymns, and at that time there wasn't really.
Or
you know,
father.
No, that they wouldn't. Would be an excuse from that, and even the choir wouldn't be gospel choir. It would be just normal songs that you'd go and sing at school or whatever. So I would be started singing there, and that's when they told me, "Wow, you got a voice, etc." And obviously, we'd go.
Voice of an angel, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, thank you. Astaghfirullah.
So that's when he was.
So yeah,
School.
and then you'd go to madrasa and you'd sing there as well.
Mashallah.
Learn all your naats and your nasheeds and yeah. So I contacted Emre before COVID
Let's
and
do
he
it.
told me come down. I went to Istanbul. I had a meeting with him. Got some melodies going and alhamdulillah, we're here now.
But you told me before it was your wife who convinced you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, tell us
She's
about
she's actually the one who contacted Emre.
it. Thank you, Tima.
Thank you, Tima. So she forced me.
Yeah?
She was the one.
So you didn't want to sing.
No, I wanted to.
So she just said
but I
she
was
forced
very
Very shy.
where I was very reserved, you know.
Yeah.
And she was the one who said, "No, you gotta go out and do this.
Wow.
Ah.
You can do it."
So she's your
That's
biggest
right,
supporter. So do you guys
They
have
say behind every successful man
So,
is a woman, and
Is it?
I believe it definitely.
you sure?
What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
You sure?
You
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
No, I fully agree.
I do
Sai,
agree.
Yeah.
But then again,
definitely.
I've got a different story though. So
What's
my
your
wife,
story?
my wife didn't support me.
Really?
Sorry, Mrs.
Yeah.
No, my mom. She didn't support me.
Your
Wait,
mom.
she didn't or she
No.
still doesn't?
Did you study anything like this?
No.
My
mom
mom
didn't support
supports me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but your mom's your biggest supporter.
For you guys, did you guys have your career before marriage or after marriage? Like the start of your career?
I got married very
After
young.
marriage.
After marriage.
Yeah, so yours is before, right?
No, mine was after.
Yeah,
I
mine was
got
after.
married
I got
very,
married
very young.
Yeah.
So I was still studying. We were studying together, and
I see.
I
What
made
did
sure
you study then?
I started studying BSc. And
Starting
then
studying what?
BSc,
Bachelor of Science.
Bachelor of Science degree.
Oh,
So I
okay.
was going to do medicine, like my
Oh,
dad.
mashallah,
And then,
okay.
But then I pulled out of that and I did BCom accounting. So my wife was studying that as well. and I got married when I was 21. So I completed my degree while I was married to her.
And you completed.
That's good. MashaAllah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
And I
I mean,
completed
that's
my
the
Imam.
difference with him. Like my one,
Yeah.
my
So-
wife
so-
didn't.
so-
My wife didn't agree. My mom didn't agree.
Yeah.
I started
How did you start?
But wait,
I start-
did you study first? Like, were you?
yeah.
Okay.
It was while I was working for a bank.
Ah.
That's when I started.
What did you study? This is shock.
Psychology.
Oh wow!
So that explains.
Oh, wow.
You know what they say about
Child
psychology?
psychology.
Child psychology.
Trying to
Honestly,
dismantle his childhood trauma.
This
But
is
honestly,
why his inner child comes out.
He's trying to fix issues.
No,
from the
I'm still a
past.
child. I'm still a child.
Alhamdulillah.
But alhamdulillah, look, that's when I started.
He's
Like,
Jordan Peterson on the Muslim.
Hidden messages in his machines.
hitting good messages, yeah.
That's good. That's good.
But in terms of my music, like I was singing all the time when I was a kid with my mom. So I got my voice from my mom.
Wow.
Yeah. So my mom, mashallah, has a
Another
beautiful voice.
angel.
So that's it. So when it came to painting the walls, cleaning the house, doing what, me and my mom had a friendly, like we were best friends. But when it came to actually like doing it professionally, I was afraid to sing in front of people. At the very beginning, that's how it started. I had a friend of mine. His
How
name
old
was.
were you?
I was about 24, 25.
Okay.
That's when I first started my career. I was afraid. I was thrown into the deep end right at the beginning. So my first show was with like Zayn Bicker and Native
Wow.
Dean, and yeah. So I was on stage, standing in in the middle of the, not even looking at the crowd. That's how I was at first.
So, you had your own song, or were you doing?
No, I was in a duo. It's called Common Souls.
Oh yes, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they were called Common Souls. So
Yeah.
the other guy, Abdullah, his name's Abdullah. We used to call him Buster.
Yeah.
He's the one who said, you know what, let's do a song together, and then we can go out. So we did the first 8 song.
Yeah.
And he went, yeah. And he went crazy viral.
That's when you first made contact.
Yeah, that's what it was. So that's how long I've known him. Yeah. And that's when it first started. My mom, like, she was embarrassed.
Really?
Yeah. She was embarrassed. She's like, no.
Because of the community? Or?
Yeah, the community.
And because
it's perception. It's all about
some
perception.
bad dancing skills.
You
now.
don't you get
No,
judged?
it's,
That video.
it was poor. It was poor.
Yeah, but it was.
It was poor.
Was your mom afraid because of the
What other people would think?
your mini people or just
In general, all the Muslims down there,
Around the world.
she'd think like, oh no, my son's singing. That's how it started. Like,
oh
she
my
was
god,
there.
there's a devil.
Yeah. But that's how it started.
Even
That's
though
how-
it's Islamic.
Even though it's Islamic, yeah. She was like, nah. She didn't want to associate like herself with the community, with my music. So it was like a step back. When it came to my wife was like, no, man, she didn't think it was a job. She's like, what the hell, man, you go out, what are you doing? That's what my wife thought. She's like, you know what, go get a proper job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're having a midlife crisis where you're
Yeah. But at the beginning, obviously, when you're making the music, you have to pay, and there's no shows.
Yeah.
So you're paying, and you're making music, and you're paying, and you're making music. And she's thinking, well,
You're just spending money.
What are you
You're
wasting
gonna
money
recover
for?
this.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, I have a vision. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And that's how, like. But then after that, obviously, I don't want to say anything about women, but when it came to like the money used to come in. You know what I mean?
You better watch what
I'm
you
saying
say.
that. I'm saying that. It's like, go make some songs. But no, honestly, but then my mom became my biggest supporter, and so did my wife. And now, alhamdulillah, my daughter, she sings.
Yeah, your daughter's amazing.
Yeah. But
So
yeah, how
you
about you?
play-
How about you?
How about you? How did you start?
Come on, now you start.
I mean, for me, I think like most of us, like living in, especially in the West, like music's a part of your day to day life. You know, it's virtually impossible to be away from it. So obviously, it's like we're just listening to just all types of music growing up. It wasn't really encouraged or anything, but it was just something. It's just you listen to, your friends are listening to. It wasn't the best type of music that we were listening to be honest. But yeah, so I grew up in a city called Mississauga, which is in the Greater Toronto area in Canada. And in 2008, our family decided to just pack up and just move to Thunder Bay. And at that time, Thunder Bay was it's a very, very small town. Many people in Canada don't know about it. But yeah, so we left all of our friends and family. And that's kind of what kick-started my interest in like music and stuff. Like in school, we had to take a music class. So there's different instruments you can choose from, either piano or stuff like that. So I chose guitar. So 4 years I played guitar. And I also took vocal classes for about 4 years.
Wow.
So that's kind of what like kick-started my sort of interest and actually like learning about music theory, and all of that. So I remember for one of our earlier on, this was way early. I was in high school at this time. One of our teachers, he pushed me. He's like, "Hey, you should like." There was this concert that we were having. He's like, "Hey, why don't you just do the singing part? Like we have all of our players here for guitar." But yeah, so I was about 16, and so I done that, and everybody really loved it. I was very shy, like both. And I see one similarity between all of us and a lot of artists in general that I've met all around the world is we tend to be generally not always, but generally introverts. Like we're very closed off. Sometimes very private. But generally, not always. but yeah. So for me, I had a lot of stage fright. So that was a big moment for me. Then I done something called Thunder Bay Idol. Thunder Bay High School Idol.
So this was non-Islamic songs.
This was. Yeah, so at the time, this was. So
I have to find the dishes.
Yeah.
So this
I need to know what he sang.
This was probably, I think, in 2010.
Did you sing Backstreet Boys?
It must have been. It must have.
I did Bruno Mars at the time.
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Awesome. This was back in the day.
Grenade, give me a lot of grenade.
I did Talking to the Moon. The falsetto and everything. So that song took me to the finals.
Wow.
And,
Did you win?
the judge really loved my falsetto.
What name did you want with him?
No, it was just my name. Yeah, just Masama Siedd. So that kind of gave me a little more confidence into with my performance and stuff.
But in terms of your backing tracks.
Yeah. Oh, my production. So from the age of 14, since I moved there, I found like I discovered kind of like the software that people can make beats from home.
Oh wow.
And I had no idea. I thought you needed like a massive like $100,000 studio and a bunch of people to make these songs. So I used to start when I found out about there's two softwares, Pro Tools, there's FL Studio, and there's also Logic, Cubase, and all of that as well. So for me, I discovered that, and I just started making beats, right? And for me, I would come home from school at like 3 p.m. And from 3 p.m. to like midnight, sometimes I'd be like just making beats. And
How many years did you?
So not singing, but just making beats.
No, yeah, just making beats.
Just to try to perfect it?
This was all before that high school idol thing.
Okay.
So this was all before that, which kind of pushed me, and then slow. Back in the day, do you guys remember those big monitors, like those computer monitors?
Yeah.
They're very thick.
Yeah.
And then our parents would
I've
use.
still got one.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then our parents would use those lights, and then they kind of glued to the side of the monitor. They were like very thin. So those white ones. So I used to use that for recording.
Oh my.
And then so I used to come home and I used to be making beats, and then I would try to record
They had
myself.
no compression.
I sounded absolutely terrible. I used to think back in the day I thought I sounded amazing, but it was now I have some of those old recordings and it's just absolutely
Yeah, you don't want to hear them again.
No.
Trust me.
I can't leak that one out. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that kind of propelled my interest into it. And but once I got really serious about it, I think in 2016, I decided that I want to like obviously for all of us artists, you can either decide to go out and try to go towards the mainstream industry, or you can try to do something maybe something positive that could benefit maybe our own.
Were you married then?
No, I wasn't.
Not yet.
Yeah, so that's when I decided I want to do a cappella nasheeds. And then so for me the big thing was how do I make a cappella? How do I make these backing tracks? And then like that's what took me a lot of time to also I spent like hours and hours and hours and just trial and error, and then I learned how to make these background sounds.
And a lot of artists nowadays, they come into the music game, the nasheed game or whatever, and they trial 3 months and they think they want to get like all these views and whatnot.
I want to talk about that.
Yeah. And it's like, why am I not getting the views?
Yeah.
Suddenly give up.
Yeah.
They don't know it takes years and years and years and years of
Yeah,
practice.
you gotta go.
It takes long.
In South Africa, I've helped multiple artists.
Have they?
and they threw money in it, and they thought this is gonna give me. They sponsored adverts, they did everything you should do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But they didn't go on.
But they didn't, and I asked them why. Because they wanted to start up here.
It doesn't work that way.
They wanted to be here. I spent all this money, I want to be here.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between Rayhaan. Rayhaan understands that this is going to take time. There's something that you're building.
course
To
it
build
is.
a house cannot be done overnight.
Of course it
It's
is.
got to take that process. It's the
Absolutely.
learning, there's errors, there's mistakes.
But then
You know,
goes
sometimes
back
even
to find
at
your
the very
space.
beginning,
Yeah.
at the very beginning, it's all about even freebies. Sometimes you've got to go
Absolutely.
do loads of shows for free.
Absolutely.
Just to get your name out there.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh,
Okay.
I want this show with this
So
big artist.
The next show is free.
No, hold on. I said at the very beginning. Well, at the beginning.
It's
Yeah.
the beginning stage in
This is the
South
beginning of so
Africa.
much more.
Come on.
This guy, let me tell you let me tell you about this guy. This guy is
Yeah,
the king
let's
in
work
negotiating, yeah. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna warn you guys, yeah. You're gonna start up with the price there. Suddenly you're paying him to pay.
Yeah, but I mean, it's absolutely true. I mean, this is
But it is. It takes dedication and hard work.
Yeah.
And obviously, you know, look, with your vocals only beats, yeah. It didn't take you. How many years did it take you?
No, it took me it took me years, man. Like
10
so
years.
from 14 to 2016, I was just making beats, and then
So
from
it's like
2016,
4 years just making beats.
yeah.
You know, you mashallah, now obviously you're programmed everywhere you walk, you just want to write a melody. Every time you hear a beat, you just want to write a melody. That's not overnight, is it?
No,
It's-
no ways. It comes with time, definitely. Like,
But look,
but
you
like
sang all your
everything.
life from 9 years old, whatever you said.
But that's how it is. We were discussing it last night.
Yeah, we were.
Where do we make beats? You'd
Yeah,
be
yeah,
just thriving, or you'd be even in the shower, and you'll be in the shower. And
No,
you
no.
gotta be.
He's
you know
talking
what I
about on
mean?
his own, yeah?
No,
It's
no,
not
not with
together.
us. Yeah. But we did do a.
He said like, yeah, we're in the shower, we had this stuff, man.
But we did do one
Don't
beat
make
in
me
the steam room yesterday.
Yeah.
Remember the beat?
No, this
Oh, yeah.
Whoa!
What happened in Steam Room Stage?
no, but he's right though.
Yeah.
You know, the ideas come in obviously like
In
showers
beauty.
when you're walking.
Yeah, it just comes
it just
out.
happens, and it's not like I said. It doesn't take. It's not like a day thing. It's not like a year thing. It's not even 2 years. What did they say? 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
10,000
10,000 hours.
Yes, it takes
10,000
10,000 hours.
To master
That was
master
the Beatles.
something.
I read an article about the Beatles and that. They
Yeah.
were singing these small little bands and whatever,
Yeah.
small little pubs or whatever it
Yeah.
was for years until they became who they
Yeah,
were.
Malcolm
They say like
Gladwell,
10,000.
he talks about this, about
Yeah,
the
10,000
10,000 hour
hours.
rules, and especially with the Beatles, in terms of the Beatles, a lot of people don't know, but they were actually a cover band initially.
Yeah.
Really?
So they used to
Yeah.
do covers on covers and covers on these small pubs.
Yeah.
I think in Germany, or
Yeah,
I don't know,
Germany.
yeah, in Germany. So they used to these small pubs, like background music, right? Essentially, covers and covers and covers and covers. But then what happened is they mastered, because they were all doing all these hit songs that they were
Yeah,
performing,
but that's a small
and so that becomes a part of your subconscious of like understanding the melodic structure, lyrics, and all of that. And what they say is then when they actually decided, when they came out of there, it was a whole like craziness for the Beatles since then.
Because they already-
they
they've already
whatever their craft was, they mastered it. They
Exactly.
put the time in. They were pushed to a corner, and nobody was paying attention to them and all of that.
Exactly.
But I mean, they had their own vision, and for us, we have our own vision. You know,
Yeah.
ours is more towards our faith and reconnecting people.
But
to
this
God.
is the point where our Muslim communities need to respect the effort that you guys artists put through.
Yeah.
This is it.
Inshallah.
So as much as we don't want to talk about money has to be talked. There's
No, of course.
hours and days and time
Yes.
that is put through. It's not
No,
just
it's
come in,
sacrifices.
hey brother, come fi sabilillah, brother, come sing.
No, sometimes,
Bro, you know
sometimes-
that's kind of like the annoying thing.
Yeah.
You know, you see.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to annoy you.
No, now with you, bro, I accepted it, bro. But listen, I mean, when it comes to fees or whatever, yeah, we don't give you a fee, right? Based on I'm gonna just do 3-4 songs. It's not about that. I give you a fee because of the 20 years that I've been trying to perfect my craft.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's what I give you.
Yeah.
That's why I give you the fee. It's not like I think I've got this many followers. No, it's
Yeah.
not about that. It ain't about followers. It's about how long you've taken to perfect your craft.
No, and in
Yeah,
what
it's
quality you're delivering as well.
Quality.
I mean,
Yeah,
you're, not,
it's-
you're delivering.
It's just like a doctor. You know, sometimes you
Exactly.
go in for literally like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. There's $500.
Yeah.
Right? Why? Like the doctor, he can do it with his eyes
Exactly.
closed. But again, it comes down to he's put those 10 years into med
course it
school,
is.
Yeah.
all of the nights and effort that he's put
Training.
into it, training
Yes.
day and night, while everybody else was doing their own thing, he was working.
But-
And so or he or she was working. And likewise, a lot of us even now, sometimes we're spending more hours than a 9 to 5 job.
Of course,
We're working all around the clock, and obviously, and
the sacrifices
we all have our family lives. We
Yeah.
have families, we have kids.
Yeah.
We have all of this going on, and at the same time, we're trying to manage this. Any person who manages their own business, it's a lot of work. Right?
I don't think a lot of people
It's rewarding,
realize,
but it's
I don't think a lot of people realize the back end
No.
to what you guys do.
Yep.
The work, the hours, the sweat, the tears.
The voice
the cost,
coaching.
everything.
Hard.
I don't
And
think a lot of
especially
people
when you
realize
have
it.
families and kids. Like, alhamdulillah, I have 4 kids.
Sorry, Maf.
You know what I mean?
Sorry, Maf.
Go.
I think a lot of with the Muslim mentality.
Yeah.
They have this. I call it the masjid mentality. So it's like wherever you are, brother, go in the front, go recite not to go and sing.
Yeah.
So it's masjid mentality. So they take this mentality, because in the masjid they don't really pay you.
Yeah, right.
They
you're
do it
right.
for free.
Absolutely right.
Sabilillah. But so they take the same mentality, or they expect the same thing out in the open world.
Mm-hmm.
And that mentality needs to be changed.
Of course it is.
So with that being said, you guys need to start telling your back end stories.
Yeah.
You haven't done that.
No.
I think this would be maybe the first time I've heard it before.
and then sometimes people may not know, but sometimes, for example, Rayhaan or Muad, they might be doing some stuff behind the scenes that people don't know they're not getting paid for, right? Because we're doing it, because we want to benefit or whatever, in some type of capacity, and we don't need to share that with the world, in whatever case. But,
100%.
so that's also part of it.
Have you guys ever been tempted to go mainstream?
That's a good question.
The next
deep
break.
question.
I mean, but wait, on that exact same point, for example, like Mos Def and Talib Kweli, they're Muslim,
Yeah.
but they're mainstream, right?
Yeah.
And that's decision. And sometimes they'll say, don't worry about my religion, that's between me and so on. But I mean,
DJ Khalid.
Huh?
I can see you play this DJ Khalid.
DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled.
But I mean, exactly what I'm saying.
We the best music.
So I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? Don't kill the messenger. But people say like, certain artists, they don't go Muslim artists don't go mainstream because they can't make it mainstream, but they can make it in Muslim mainstream.
No ways.
That's what people say.
No.
So have you-
I'm gonna be honest with you. You want to know something?
Yes.
I've been given a few deals to go mainstream.
Oh wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Wallah.
But
I'll manage you.
Huh?
I'll manage you.
But I chose not to,
Yeah.
because it's not about, for me, it's not about how big I can make it or how much money I can make. It's all about the message. Look, I have kids.
Yeah.
Would I want, the songs that I sing, would I want them to listen to what, if I went mainstream, would I
Do
do
you
that?
think you can make a bigger impact if you're mainstream?
What?
What?
Do you know that the mainstream,
If you're a Muslim guy-
you know that the mainstream control you and they tell you what to sing?
Yeah, exactly what I was just gonna say.
I don't want that.
Now you
I'd rather
believe
be
in
independent.
Illuminati.
Huh?
You believe in Illuminati.
There's a certain
No, but have you ever, and when you were younger, were you ever tempted? You ever thought, okay, maybe
Yeah, I can make it.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Let me try.
Yeah, everyone thinks that.
Yeah, you as well.
Everyone
I
thinks
thought
that.
that I'm going to be a big singer. I mean, I used to play with a guitar the whole day and sing, and
Do you have,
I'd be
do you have a
singing.
video of that?
I'm sure.
Can we see it? Can we have your
You
video
play
as
the
well?
guitar?
Yeah, I played the guitar in school as well.
Can you still play?
I forgot all the frets and everything now. It's been
Frets, I
over.
don't know what you're on about. But,
No, frets are the
how is it? Okay.
the thing you put your fingers on here and you.
How's that?
Have you ever been tempted?
I think when you're young, when you're young, you try to, first of all, when you don't have a vision in mind, and when you're young, you're a bit like childish, and you look at these superstars and these jets and money and all of that sort of stuff.
The effects.
But for me, like alhamdulillah, for me, I started in 2016. I guess I was a bit old. Like in Thunder Bay, I used to spend a lot of my time, like, because there was not a big Muslim community. My eldest brother, he's about 8 years older than me, and I used to hang around with him and all of his friends, because a lot of like in high school in Thunder Bay, a lot of people are just partying. That's what they do. For me, I'm not into that stuff.
Yeah.
So I would just spend time with his
You
friends.
didn't party?
What?
You didn't party?
No, alhamdulillah. Maybe if I was with you.
Growing up, there wasn't like these famous nasheeds like during when I was younger. Like when I was between the ages maybe of 10 and 17, there wasn't really any good nasheeds besides maybe your famous your traditional Moroccan or your Egyptian nasheeds. And then Sami Yusuf came along.
Well, you had Zayn Bika and them.
Yeah, but funny enough, just on that, even though I'm from South Africa and I was living in London, that's the first time I heard about Zambika.
Yeah.
I never ever heard about him in South Africa.
You know,
I heard about him in London.
that happens a lot. This happens a lot. It's
That's crazy.
any time an artist blows up, it's usually when they get accepted into another country.
Yeah.
Because your own hometown will never accept you
Absolutely,
until they
yeah.
see, oh
That's
wow,
another thing.
he's getting
You can
famous
say that
in London,
again.
So
and then they'll start
That's
accepting.
exactly what Zayn told me. Exactly that. Yeah.
They didn't
it's
accept
true.
him.
He was singing here.
This happens.
No one did. He went to London and he met with Dawood Wansby Ali and Yusuf. Dawood Wansby
Zayn told me the same thing
Then
on
they
the
got Yusuf
phone
Islam and
conversation.
friends. That
He had to go to London to be accepted.
He had to go overseas to be. He said he wasn't going to have any level of fame, or if you say fame, but yeah, it's
But we're not doing it for the fame.
I'm saying like
you know what it's similar to. You know, just like your family, no matter how famous you guys get, they'll still be your brother. That's still your brother. That's still your mother. They're like, I've changed your diaper. Sit down, right? Like, it's like that's what it is. And your own people is like that.
Sit down.
It's like you know, for any artist, it's like, come on, like we grew up together, went to the same school. Like, stop trying to act all big. Like, you know,
Wow.
He's right.
no, but that's but you need that. But you need these people. You need these people around you, and you need these old friends that
To
are around you.
humbilize you.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you need these people around you because sometimes these are the only people that will give you honest feedback.
Yeah.
These are the only, and the thing is, a lot of people once they start getting some fame, they get rid of all their old friends and all these, and that's the biggest mistake you can do.
But that's how I felt.
because then you bump into yes men, and those people will take you down in life.
Ooh, the yes men.
And that's how I felt in the
G-Base.
Johannesburg concert because that's my hometown. So last week in the Johannesburg concert, I could walk around and talk to everyone. It's not like I was the
Somebody
guy
else.
performing.
We
and
all know you're famous then, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm not famous. But anyways, what I'm saying, Shaheen is more famous than me, I think.
You look at that.
We've got stories to tell, but not for today.
No, but he's right though. Look, I've got a family of 8. There's 8 of us.
Yeah.
And only two, who kind of like support me. The other 6, well, only 2. Like my sister, my youngest sister, and my eldest brother. Those are the ones who like openly
No,
share my stuff and all
alhamdulillah.
that. Because the rest, obviously, just see
My
you as their brother. They're like, oh, okay, yeah. It's just my.
I think sometimes the support, maybe that lack of support is not maybe that they don't support you, but they're afraid that you're going into uncharted territory, and they don't. It's sometimes like the mother who does not want to let their child go out and live alone at the moment, or like go,
And make
because
mistakes.
they're afraid. But I feel like sometimes it's from a protective sort of stance.
Overprotective, yeah.
It's
That's different. That's
different. It's a different type of love. And the moment that they notice that like mashallah he's made a place for himself and he stood his ground and he survived, then they're like, it's like almost like a relief. All right, we know you can handle this. Just go out. Yeah.
I mean, it's a different
Yeah.
reason. I mean, for my family, that's not it. It's not about like. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's your point of view.
Yeah. Okay.
That's like
No,
your
yeah.
family. With my
Yeah.
family, isn't that? It's literally he's just my brother. Just my. That's all it is. It's like
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. That's all it is.
And
It's
you've
a
come to
simple.
terms
It's a
with
simple reason.
You've
And
come to terms
I've
with
come to terms with that. Yeah, it's fine. That's why when I if I make a song, I do a broadcast message and I send it to everyone. It's not like I send it to just my brothers and sisters or whatever. I just send it to everyone. So and I don't look for them to repost. It's like I've accepted it that I'm just their brother. That's all it is.
Do you guys find a lot of jealousy within the community?
In the community, okay, not family, but
No, that's-
definitely in the community. Yes, there is.
No,
I've experienced that.
Community.
Yeah, the Nasheed community.
Yeah.
Oh, in the Nasheed community.
Yeah, the Nasheed
Ooh, that's a lot.
People want to see you down.
Guaranteed.
I think
Guaranteed.
Is there a general brotherhood?
I think that's part of human nature.
Of course it is.
Even in our history, even among scholars, there's been jealousy, right? And those are people that we all look up to. So the thing is, nobody's safe from it. But that's why there's that thing of like, if you feel some type of tendency towards somebody, like you're feeling a bit envious or jealousy, what we're taught to do is make a prayer for them, for their success. Right? And so that's one thing that maybe can help like cure, it's that thing within all of us, right?
But there's jealousy and there's competition, right?
Yeah.
But the competition
Competition's
sometimes
healthy.
to push you
And the thing is with art, it's like, what did I think, was it Steve Jobs who said great, good artists copy, great artists steal, or something like that, right? But what he means by that is like, it's like you get inspired by other artists, and the thing is, if there's nobody doing it, nobody else performing, if there's nobody else creating art, then what do we get inspired by? right?
Right.
It's like you experience different things. You experience different personalities. Muad's coming from a whole different area. Rayhaan's coming from a whole different area, and each person brings something to the table.
At the end of the day, we all carrying basically the same message, and
That's what it is.
and that the main targets is our youth and the kids. That's what our aim is.
Yep.
So for me, my community itself is not jealous at all, and I've got a really supportive community. Like if I release a song,
Is that South Africa in general?
I'm from a really small.
Because obviously
I
you
don't, I don't think so. I think it's with your specific.
I've come from a really small, very close community. The community that I'm from, like if there's a funeral, everybody attends the funeral. If there's a wedding, the weddings are 2005, and everybody knows one another.
Extravagant, yes.
Not extravagant. So what I mean is everyone is supportive. So if I release a song, everyone will share it. Friends, families, my father's friends.
That's a good
That's
thing.
good. That's good. That's
But you said you seen something different.
I don't think what he's talking about is the consensus amongst the general community in South Africa, and I'm not talking about Nasheeds only. I'm expanding it across. I don't know.
But every community is different.
Charity sector or something.
But
even within the charity sector, I mean, we experience
Every community.
I mean, we've had
spies.
We've had other charities.
You had what?
We have had other charities send spies and come sit here and listen to us.
I come from a community.
Like, can you believe it? Subhanallah.
Charity.
And we
Yeah,
like a
wallahi.
tiny charity compared to the other.
I come from a community called Lodium. In Durban, they say Lodium. You're from Lodium? Okay,
Lodium.
what kind?
You got the headline.
But if people will come to a funeral to Lodium or wherever, and they'll tell you, they'll like come up to you and they'll say, you guys have a very close community. You don't get this any. People from Johannesburg, which is 25 minutes away from Lodium, they're all scattered apart. Their community is not like that. If you come to our mosques in Lodium in Ramadan,
But that's exactly why he said it's specific to you.
it's very specific.
I moved to Lodium
but here's the thing.
with my wife.
Yeah.
I just went to the shopping mall. Someone didn't recognize me. He comes to me and says, you guys okay? You look new here. You want to need help?
They accept that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Everybody's
I was just about to
One
say.
thing because
I know a lot of people.
she came to me like, you look okay. Do you guys need to shop? Like, and she's like, oh, my son's Zayn. Like,
Everyone helps one another.
Yes, I was just about to say. I know a lot of people in his community,
Okay.
and wallahi, the most helpful people I've ever come across.
Lodium is
You know what?
very helpful.
Without them,
That's
knowing
actually very
very welcoming, very. You actually feel.
Well
as if
done,
you're-
Lodium. Love you guys.
And that's a
beautiful thing.
You know why this is so important, and I think as artists out there, especially young artists, we don't need that jealousy in this community. You know, there's that quote. You know, a rising tide lifts all ships, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, if one artist, one of us, we start getting, gaining a bit traction, we start getting connected to the community. Now all of us artists, we rise together.
Yeah.
You know, because we're building a space for that type of art, right?
Yeah, but
and it lifts all of us.
With that being said, I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of guys are making money off this.
Yeah.
So it becomes a very competitive space now because one will get paid more than the other. So jealousy, in a way, does creep in because
Alhamdulillah.
Rayhaan is getting more than Muad. Muad's
For me,
getting more
I
than
can
you.
say, and I
Vice
don't know
versa.
about you, but I'm sure. I mean, I've met you guys only a week ago, and I honestly think these are the two most humble beings that I've ever met.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they're not us.
No,
Yeah, I'm listening
I'm
to
going-
this. No, I'm not listening to this. Wow.
Right. No.
No, subhanAllah. Do you know why?
Why?
He wants you guys to take him overseas.
Yeah. I want us to come to you.
Basically, it's not about the money.
No, you're right.
It's absolutely not about the money.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again, and I feel like I'm a broken tape record. It's about the message that we want to put out to the youth. The youth have forgotten, and it's the truth.
Yeah.
If you listen to one of the 8 songs about the Prophet ﷺ, and all the prophets, the kids don't know the names of the prophets of Islam. But if you can ask them the names of the soccer players in the Manchester United team, they'll give you all 11 plus the reserves.
Yeah.
So a song like that Said has written, it's so educational to the youth.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. For example, my song about Ya Nabi Salam Alaikum, people don't know about sending salawat to our beloved Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Kids have forgotten it. They don't know the value of sending salawat. There's a hadith about it that the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that they say, if you send a salawat to me, salam to me, Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala sends 10 salams to you.
No, yeah, and you know what? This is so beautiful. And what's funny is, on Spotify, sometimes you can see playlists other people have made online, and you see where our nasheeds are in. So sometimes I'll see like they'll be like Drake, 50 Cent, and then a Syed song, and then like something, something,
Yeah.
and then Muad, and then something, something, and then like Rayhaan. So the thing is, imagine like somebody's listening to something very vulgar, and in there's like a slight reminder or like a good message. And so the thing is, that's what we're trying to do. What we're trying to at least carve out space that. Why do we have 5 prayers throughout the day? Right?
Constant.
It's because no matter what we're doing our work. We get caught up in this world. It's like Dhuhr. It's like Fajr.
Stop
Then
what
a
you do.
few hours, some hours later, Dhuhr. It's like another reminder, like almost cleansing yourself.
Yeah.
Then Asr, then Maghrib, then Isha. It's like you're always, you're planning around the prayers.
Yeah.
And essentially,
Yeah, that's true.
what we're trying to do in
You
this,
didn't think of that.
what we're
That's
trying to
so
do,
true.
You didn't think of that.
yeah, what we're trying to do in this sort of sense is that we know, okay,
You get
this
lost in this
nasheeds may not be for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people, the arts in general, they'll never be connected to it. And that's beautiful. If and that's fine, right? But the people who really need it, that's what we're trying to be there for.
Now I want to give you a personal story. I grew up loving metal rock music. My dad was a
What?
community of metal rock.
That is what it is.
Yeah, like
You wanna know
Metallica, Megadeth, all that stuff. My dad tried as much as he could. Linkin Park is soft.
Huh?
Linkin Park is soft to what I was listening to.
Metallica, Baba.
So my dad tried. He was a community worker. Tried everything. to
Lost
get
a bit
me
of
on this.
respect, man.
I used to sleep with the stuff in my headphones every night. At that time, Walkman, right?
Oh, Walkman, yeah, you remember that,
I
yeah?
still got it, right?
Walkman.
I used to record it on the radio and keep it.
Walkman, wow.
And my brother and my sister got married very young. And my brother-in-law, I was about 14 or 15, and my sister was about 18, 19, my brother-in-law.
Yeah.
He gave me a CD and many know Soldiers of Allah.
Oh my lord.
Soldiers of Allah.
You know that they got
Bro.
something.
Soldiers of Allah. I heard, firstly, music for me was haram. I was heard all the stuff that was being nailed all my life about it. And this is, you shouldn't be listening to
I
it.
remember one of those songs.
And then I hear Muslim guys singing about
faith.
Islam, and I said about Salahuddin Ayyubi, Khalid Murid. Okay, they call them soldiers of anger, right? They were hectic. If you listen to it, they were
Really?
hectic, right?
Yeah. Bro, I know some of the lyrics, bro.
And I know I found out who some of the guys are. I can't say that. Anyway, dude, I stopped listening to all the music. I stopped listening to everything.
That changed you?
That changed me.
Just
Soldiers
one
of
song
Allah?
can change you.
I promise you, Soul of Allah changed me.
What's a good thing?
It took me 2 years to research Sheikh Qardawi and local ulama, Sheikh Fuzail Sufi, all of that. I started asking them questions, finding out conservative scholars as well as progressive ones.
Yeah.
And that's what, for 2 years, I stopped everything and I realized there's something.
And
One
that
sheikh,
brings us back to
one sheikh told me something. Sheikh Ramadan, I was on Radio Lotus, this local Indian radio station, and
Yeah.
it was coming to Ramadan. And Sheikh Ramadan was in studio, so we went to see him and he was talking, and he says to me off air, he says, take a glass or take this bottle. It's made of it's pure. The bottle is amazing. There's nothing wrong, un-Islamic or impure about this, except that we must recycle it. So the fact is, he says, if you pour alcohol into it and consume, the bottle still stays the same. It's still same pure, but the content of it is what will change your heart and cause evil to you. It's the content. But if you pour water and you drink this water, it's going to fill your soul. It's going to help you. It's going to give you health, a better health. Just like that, he says, any instrument, music, no music, whatever it is you're listening to, even if it doesn't have music, but the content is what is important. He says, focus. If that content is good for you, then consume it. If the content is bad for you, get rid of it.
Wow.
It's beautiful. Like, oh, this is amazing. So I'm saying that's, as you say, you guys, what you're doing in the space,
Yeah.
truly is amazing. Allah bless you so much.
Ameen,
for
ameen, ya
continue in
Rabbi.
this path. The guidance is there. The one question I have though, what's the plan for the next 10 years? You can't do this forever, right? Because
No.
you're just starting off. You guys have been in for a couple of years. But there has to be some plan, right? There has to be. I mean, I know you're into animation now. I think you also started doing some
For me,
animation. Is that the industry is moving towards that way? Is that,
Right.
do you think the nasheed industry is moving to like animation?
I mean,
this kind of
it
thing?
is because
Yeah.
to be honest, like my daughter now sings, so like I can concentrate on my daughter. Now my kids, I'm creating this children's animation. Yes, we need. I don't know if you lot know about Coco Melon. Coco Melon is it zombifies your child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's loads of different. It changes like
Changes
different
images,
colors.
yeah.
Yeah. It just makes it just glued. So what I'm trying to do is animation that gives them education. So it's not about prophet stories. It's the messages in the songs all different. Like they're very generic. Some about bullying, some about love. Some are very Islamic about like Islam, about the prophet. But what I'm trying to focus on is more of the generic, so all religions can listen to it. That's what I'm going to try and focus on.
Nice.
Yeah. So alhamdulillah, it's not just Like if you get
talking about that, do you guys get non-Muslim viewers? Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Huge.
No,
Yeah.
if you look my Instagram,
Yeah.
like I use music on my Instagram
Yeah.
because I've got a main aim. I've got an objective.
Yeah.
I'm trying to focus on the message. See the content that you're talking about. My content. I do covers, so I get big songs that everybody knows and hears every single time.
Right hashtags.
And yeah, hashtag it. I hashtag it. And I change the lyrics to a more to all faith-based, always positive messages, because then you can get not just Muslims, it's non-Muslims. Yeah. So what I do is I change big songs, change the lyrics. You know what I mean? I make it faith-based and make it positive message. Get Muslims, non-Muslims. I have loads of Muslims who literally say, "Oh, I'm not a Muslim, I'm not religious, but I love what you do and I love your message."
Yeah, yeah.
And that is for me the main aim, because what I'm showing them is this is what Muslims are like.
So we've got to say,
Takbir! It's not all right. Allah.
So you started using more universal words.
Universal words. So instead of Allah, I use obviously
Yeah.
Allah in a lot of songs, but sometimes I will change Allah and I'll do God, because you can.
So Allah is God. So there's
exactly. I'm not changing the message.
Has anyone ever come to you and said, "Hey, guy, don't use God, use Allah"?
Maybe one or two.
Don't say the Almighty.
One or two.
Yeah,
It's not even a lot.
Pretentious.
You know what I mean? Everyone appreciates the message. That's as simple as.
That's good, man. That's good.
Sure, alhamdulillah.
Oh, that's good. So Muad, your hat. My man, your
The topi.
hat. The
Tell us
topi.
about your topi.
Your hat, for me, is
It's a Michael Jackson
It's
signature
Muad.
hat.
Muad cannot do a show without the hat.
No, it can't.
So it's part of you. It's part
It
of
is,
your life.
it
It's part of
goes
your
everywhere.
DNA.
Do you have like 5 of those or?
No, I have one.
So
Oh,
smell
you have
it.
one?
Please smell it.
You best get some replicas.
No, don't.
Do you wash it?
I do wash it.
The once a
Doesn't
year.
stain.
Huh?
Doesn't stain.
Yeah. Does it what stink?
No, did it lose it?
Does it lose its colour?
The color maybe, yeah. It was, but.
So you're leaving this one for me in South Africa and you get another one when you get back.
No, I'll have to buy a new one. Now.
No, brother, you have a big
Buy
head.
a new one.
If he has to wait, and I don't want to say what he's going to look like, but
I know what you're thinking, bro.
So,
But yeah.
so at what point in your life did your hat become an integral part of your life, your shows?
First of all, without my hat, nobody recognizes me.
Wow, really?
Seriously.
That's amazing.
I went to a few shows and I didn't have my hat on. I left it in the green room. And I walked through the crowd. Not one person recognized me, they don't know. I go in, jacket, my hat on, come out, it's like, oh my God, Muad's there. Literally, this is who I am. Without this, I don't get recognized.
Wow.
But my hat started. Okay, so when I first started in Nasheed, remember the Eid song that I made, this Eid today? I didn't have a hat on then. Then I made a mini EP. I started using different hats. So hats were there. I just thought, you know what? It looks music videos. They look good with hats. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So I had like a fedora hat. I had a fedora one. I had a porcupine, a blue hat. I just used different hats.
This guy was rolling like a diva there.
It was.
did you ever have
It wasn't my identity. I just thought, let me.
Did you have a little chihuahua too?
Yeah, I used to dress it. Yeah.
That's it.
But honestly, it was messing about with the hats. And then when I started actually when I went solo and I did Superhero, I got a song called Superhero with my daughter. That's when I put the hat on. And it used to be before. It used to be. Before. Then I changed it to there, and that was it. Superhero, and from then on it was like, okay, and now if you see my logo is my hat. But people think it's a frog.
It's a frog.
bro.
Yeah,
joking.
It does.
Seriously, people think. Did you think? See
The logo.
Yeah. People are like, oh, wait, how has he got
You
a frog?
should actually create
It's like psychedelic
an
frog.
animation.
A what?
Animation with your hats.
Yeah.
A cartoon with your hats.
You said it here.
Create a.
You did as
create
well.
A, create
You
a,
said?
create
Yeah.
a character with your hat. I think it'll be amazing.
He's taking all royalties.
I think it'll be amazing. I think you'll capture the market.
Yeah.
But it's something, it's something completely different.
Yeah.
I've got an animation already. So you want me to incorporate my hat?
Yeah.
And his legs and
like Thing from Adam's Family, you know,
As a
the head
creator.
that walks around.
Oh yeah.
Like Thing. You make your head walk around, like I'm grateful.
I'll have to see. I'll actually have to see.
Just remember, yes, royalties, yes.
You see, for him, it's about the money.
Every 10%.
No, wait. Guys. Everything I do for kids.
Well done.
Well said.
Beautiful though.
For the children of the world.
He has it on video now, the technical abilities.
Brother,
Just
please,
sign
don't
right
sell,
now.
don't sell me cheap.
He's like, I won't settle for anything less than 50.
Should we sign the contract now?
No, not
Let's
yet.
get it signed. 83.
No, because I know him. If he's gonna
Okay.
change it, he's gonna change it. He's gonna take 100%. I know he's gonna negotiate
But
it.
you know what, guys? Really, it's been
amazing.
It's been amazing.
Alhamdulillah.
It's been lovely having you guys here.
Thank you.
I really, wallahi, never expect the bond that we have.
Yeah.
I don't. Even with Muhammad, the guy behind the camera,
Speak the truth. He was
Dude,
very,
man,
he
he
was
was
very, he was very.
Everyone
I was really hesitant. Wallahi,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god,
Let's
I
see
don't,
if
I
you're
don't, I don't
sure.
know who's this guy Muhammad. Like,
Shanaz was
really.
like convinced. Shanaz and I were convinced, and he was like, I don't know what you guys.
I know. I was like, what is this?
I think I bring my numbers. They bring money in. What's going on?
Alhamdulillah,
But right, wallahi, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I never expect the brotherhood that we have between the three
No,
of us.
alhamdulillah.
Sorry, mass between the four of us.
Yeah.
It's been amazing because we laughed, we cried, we ate, we prayed. We did so many things that
In a week,
not
in a space of a week.
Yeah.
I mean, if people see us like in this room, they would think, my God, these guys know each other for 20 years old.
I know, crazy.
We
You
played
know,
our
you know,
nappies
one
together.
thing. You know, he phoned me this morning. Like, Muad, where are you? I'm like, hey, I'm coming to your room. We're gonna go down. You know, he started crying because
he started
I'm a bond. It's crazy.
Well, the point I'm telling you, bro, you leave in it's crazy.
Well, alhamdulillah, may Allah
Ameen.
protect us. May He bless us. May He keep us together like this
And guide us.
in this
Guide you
and guide
guys.
us in this life and the next.
You guys have a
inshallah.
greater test than we have, because you're in the eye of the public.
Yeah,
So what you
responsibility.
represent the brand yourself. You represent Islam. So it's a great test for you.
But
all.
before we leave, Shaheen, can you
Sorry,
tell us
before,
about
but sorry,
the
before,
t-shirt?
and let's not forget the sisters, Shanaz, Sumia,
Shanaz,
No.
Azra.
I think the whole thing.
I just want to say on cam, Shanaz, and I don't say this like, and I'm saying this to the world. It's on my it's on my social media. She is I'm telling you, she's the strongest woman I've seen here. I'm telling you.
Absolutely agree.
She,
with
you know,
yes.
like I said before, I keep repeating. She has the world on her shoulders, but you know when you see her, it doesn't seem like she has anything.
Unfazed.
Yeah, just walks with the flow. Make sure everything is done properly.
Well,
everything is.
We are
sweet.
glad to be led by a female.
No, alhamdulillah.
May
She's
Allah
changed.
guide her, may Allah protect her,
Ameen, ya Rab.
may Allah expand her heart, inshallah.
I mean, yeah.
Ameen.
I was asking about your t-shirt. What is that about? Can you tell us about your beautiful t-shirt?
Yasser Arafat.
That's me.
Is that you?
Your mother's from Malaya.
Is that a kitten? No, thanks.
All right, thanks guys.
Peace out.
Assalamu alaikum.